we've been going to Walt Disney World since 2004. This video is about rides and experiences we have done over the years that they don't have anymore. This is not a complete list, but things that I have video of. I've asked my kids to make comments along the way, so let's get started.
Hey, I'm Bailey, the oldest, and I'm Brooke, the youngest, and we don't really have a good memory about this, but it was fun. It's also a really cool experience to have, and it's kind of sad that Disney doesn't do this anymore.
And what'd you ask me? What'd you ask me after that? Can I have a piece of yours? Everybody, are you guys excited to be here? It's me, Jamie, and you know what I heard? I heard that everybody here wants to have fun. So I need for you guys to make a lot of noise and let me know if that's true.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Bear.
I was just out for a walk.
Oh, yeah?
And I heard all these wonderful voices calling my name.
Well, that's because I brought some new friends with me today, Bear.
Brooke and I grew up watching Playhouse Disney, so I remember we were really excited to get to go see this. My probably favorite TV show was Stanley or the Roly-Poly-Olies. My favorite was the Roly-Poly-Olies, and I don't have a very clear memory, but I probably freaked out whenever we watched it.
How about we all show so we had to make a great big monster noise? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Alright, you guys, scary monsters. Now let's see how Zoe does. There's no match for Mr. Purple to sleep every day.
Do you think gorillas eat goldfish, Stanley? Let's look in the book.
He's picking through my hair.
They only eat plants, fruits, leaves, and tree bark, with the occasional bug thrown in.
Bailey and I don't remember this parade, but it is really cool that Hollywood Studios used to have an actual parade.
Stop.
This was a really cool experience, and we probably didn't appreciate it at the time, obviously, but it's just really cool being able to be at the front of the monorail and ride with the pilot.
Disney's Fast Pass to reduce wait time on our most popular attractions. Check out Magic Kingdom Park guide map for
Friends that go there, that's the stuff that you can do the lines with.
the entrance. Please keep your party
That's not
tickets
water.
ready.
Yeah.
If you are traveling from another Disney theme park, please have
No,
your tickets
but I can figure that out. Just look at them. They got the flags on one side.
That's the legend parade there. Okay, I see what you're
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 Disney lands of the Magic Kingdom. Smoking is not permitted at the Magic Kingdom except in designated areas. Please consult your guide map. If you are traveling to any other Walt Disney World Resort hotel, buses and watercraft depart from this station. If you are traveling to Epcot, please remain on board. You'll need to change trains just 2 stops away at the Transportation and Ticket Center. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the cast of the Walt Disney World Resort, we'd like to welcome you to the Magic Kingdom.
All right.
There it is.
The Rose Garden didn't get removed until like mid 2010s, and we don't remember a lot about walking through it. I do remember passing it a lot, like growing up, and always wanting to go and like be in it, and we just never did, but it's super cool.
Hello, say hello.
This is Brooke, and I can remember walking through Magic Kingdom when we would stay extra late for magic hours, and we would be walking to go ride something, and we would always hear this music or see it going down the street at the park, and it's very iconic. It's a very iconic parade, and they definitely need to bring it back at some point, but it was always fun to watch, and it was very entertaining. One thing I always remember about wishes is that my mom and Brooke would always be like hugging or like staying close to each other during this, getting like emotional and just like really enjoying it. And I just never liked it. And I know wishes is such a huge part of so many like people's lives, like when they were younger and like loving it. But I really love Happily Ever After, and I never really connected with wishes, but it's still super cool.
You see, it's just like I told you. Wishes can come true if you believe in them with all your heart. And the best part is, you'll never run out of wishes. They're shining deep down inside of you. Because that, my friends, is where the magic lives.
I don't remember anything about this club pool. Like the first time that I even saw this footage, I was shocked because I didn't know it used to look like this.
Well, if you ever go to Italy, make sure you drink that.
Hey, drink beers. You're old now.
All right, girls, let's go.
There are those who see Norway's spirit pale in a land of forests and mystery, where trolls still prowl the water's edge.
This is Bailey. I love this ride so much, and I always wanted to ride it whenever we were in Epcot. That was like the one ride I would really enjoy, and I'm super sad it's not there anymore.
Airplanes from Touchstone Pictures' blockbuster hit Pearl Harbor, starring Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett. Cast from the mold of a real P-40, these full-size replicas were produced in fiberglass over a steel
This is
frame.
Bailey again. I could write an essay on this ride. I remember a lot about this ride. I really enjoyed this. I think that it's super cool how they actually had people in there working, and I think that all the props they used for this were just really unique and like interesting. And I remember I loved the Hannah Montana house, like the chicken coop was like iconic to me because I loved that movie.
Next, on both sides of our shuttle, we have prop storage areas.
This is Brooke, and the only part of this ride that I genuinely remember is the part that was just shown where they're in there sewing and making like costumes. And I also remember the part at the canyon with the water. But I also think this ride was so cool, and I miss it.
Spectacular. Over on the left, we are driving by the area where we host the Extreme Stunt Show. Directly above our shuttle, over our heads, is a large platform area where the camera crews set up their equipment to lower it down into place. One of the benefits of filming on a set, I think, is that we can control certain things like this, the weather. Thanks, guys. For instance, here in the middle of our sunny morning, we can make a ramp just like this, using large water nozzles that are high above the set, just out of the camera's view. Folks, I guess they want to here after all. Everybody, see your backyard. I think we'll have to ride this thing out.
This is Brooke, and unpopular opinion, I really never enjoyed watching this show. I just think it was really loud, and I'm not really like into just watching stunts, like car stunts and stuff. It kind of makes me nervous, but I remember we would watch this pretty frequently when we would go to Hollywood Studios, and I just remember them like they would like set stuff on fire and set people on fire, and that's about all I remember. This is Bailey. I remember this show. I remember it was always super loud, and I thought it was okay. It was just never something I loved and wanted to do, like watch as a child. This is Brooke, and I'm speaking solely on this because Bailey doesn't really have anything to say about this. But my favorite park has and will always probably be Epcot because I've always loved it, especially when I was younger. I don't really love the way that Epcot is changing, but this was one of the things that made me like seriously just love Epcot, watching the show at night and just always hearing the fountain, like walking through Epcot. And I think this show was really cool. It was a big symbol for Epcot for a really long time, and even though it's just a little fountain show, it's still really unique. This is Bailey. I remember this fountain, and I always just loved to like sit near it because the sounds were always so comforting, and I think it was really, really, really cool. This is Brooke, and High School Musical was such a big part of my childhood, and I remember watching this movie in theaters, so I love seeing this show. I love High School Musical. That was Bailey. This is Brooke, and I think this parade, still to this day, is one of my favorites of all time. I love the song, the main song that they sing. I think it's very catchy, and I just have a lot of good memories of watching this parade, and it just reminds me of Disney back in the early 2000s, or the late 2000s. This is Bailey. I also really, really enjoyed this parade, and the main song, Celebrate a Dream Come True, I have on my like Disney Spotify playlist, and I still listen to this day. I have it like memorized.
Like this. Remy, the ratatouille, the rat of all my dreams.
Anyways, this is Brooke, and Ratatouille is one of my favorite, or is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. Love that movie so much, but this is very interesting to think that this movie came out only a year prior to this clip.
So first of all, congratulations to the three of you for making it to the big stage, and thank you for lining up.
This is Bailey. I just remember always loving this because I literally loved American Idol, and it was so cool to feel like you were actually like there, even though you weren't. This is Brooke, and I remember watching this, and I was just so entertained, and I always wanted to do this when we went to Hollywood Studios.
Top vote recipients, but only one performer walks away with our daily grand prize, the Dream Tickets. Yes, now the Dream Ticket allows that lucky performer to move straight.
This is Brooke, and Bailey and I don't remember this parade at all. I think it was because we were both pretty young, but it looks really cool. Brooke, and the only thing I remember about this ride is I would cry every single time we rode it. It scared me to death. This is Bailey. I loved the Sorcerer Mickey hat. I did too, and I seriously am so sad that they don't have this anymore. I think it was perfect for Hollywood Studios. This is Bailey. I think it's kind of funny how people can't believe that this happened and that they did this, but I kind of lived for the drama, so I loved being on it because I was like, I thought it was true, which I get is why they don't do it anymore, because people did think it was true, but it was really neat. This is Brooke, and the only thing I remember about the Poachers overlay part of this ride is in the queue they would play the videos, and I remember seeing like the elephant tusks on the ground during the ride.
Look, there's a red safe in the back of their truck. What's on your side?
This is Brooke, and I'm speaking for Bailey and I when I say that we remember staying late at Magic Kingdom, like extra late at night, and there would be barely anyone there anymore, and you could walk right on basically any ride, and it was always fun, especially like at Christmas time, like this video is, when you could stay and see all the decorations lit up. I remember meeting Stitch this day very vividly because I had just gotten my hair done at the barbershop at Magic Kingdom, and this was a really funny interaction. I don't like Stitch. We are Phineas and Ferb stands. So this is Brooke, and here I am meeting Phineas and Ferb. I remember this very vividly because I loved Phineas and Ferb, and this was like a year after it came out, or maybe this was the year it came out. And I think it's really sad they don't do meet and greets with us anymore, because Phineas and Ferb is still a very iconic and legendary show that like many kids and adults still love. Phineas and Ferb, you will always be iconic. I remember that this interaction was really fun, and even my mom got to meet them. Bailey and I both agree that this was really fun to be at and to look at, but it's not something we could stay for hours on end and look at.
It's not. No. High speed first.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
Brooke and I loved Ellen's Energy Adventure. This ride was so unique. It had, I think, a runtime of like 45 minutes long. I really enjoyed riding this when I was younger because I learned a lot from the show because it was like educational while also being so funny, and I really enjoyed it. This is Bailey. I always remember my favorite time would be going to Hollywood Studios in the mornings because I knew that that would mean we were going to get to eat breakfast at Starring Rolls, and my favorite thing was the fruit tart. This is Brooke, and I also agree with what Bailey said.
Why did we not get any fruit?
This is Brooke, and I only remember seeing this garbage can once, but I think it's really cool that they did this. It's very on theme with Tomorrowland.
Uploaded to you via the television screens. You must exit the area and transmit it pronto.
This is Brooke, and Kim Possible was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I think it was so cool to get to do this. It was very immersive and interactive, and you got to walk around the World Showcase and go to places you might not typically go on a normal park day. And after this, it became the Phineas and Ferb one, which was just as cool, but it was even more special to me that it was Kim Possible.
Says type the girls who want to move away from the phone booth. It's okay to contact Agent Cunningham with you.
Drop the golf ball in it. If there is anything awry, the analyzer will alert us.
It'll open up just a little bit.
Fix the handle.
Meanwhile, the only attention she wants is for herself. You know, because she misses time with her dad.
It's okay to exit the sportsman shop.
Now go somewhere secluded to receive Wade's analysis in private.
I think we can do that here. You got a tape.
This is Brooke, and I'm going to speak solely for this because Bailey said she only rode it like once, but I remember loving this ride. I think it was so awesome that you got to build your own roller coaster, and then you got to ride that roller coaster virtually on the ride simulator. This ride also went really well with Epcot's whole theme.
They put in a pike, ain't it?
That's some mighty tough territory you're getting into, Pilgrim.
The Great Movie Ride, you will be the greatest of all time. I remember this was like the coolest ride, but I remember I kind of was a hater because I didn't enjoy it as much as Brooke did, but now looking back, I can appreciate it so much. And I remember it was kind of like the first glimpse into horror for me because the scene right here of Alien was like the scariest thing to me, but I also loved it so much. This is Brooke, and this was and will forever be my favorite Disney ride of all time. This ride meant so much to me. It was 100% entertaining, fun, immersive, like everything. This ride was so good. It literally fit Hollywood Studios' whole vibe overall, like everything so well. And I don't know why they ever got rid of it. The ride that replaced it is so bad, and it makes me miss this ride 10 times more.
We hate Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I wonder how we get out of here. What do you?
Next clip with the screen and the different movie clips is one of my favorite things ever.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Reach for the sky. You're under arrest. Get it there. What's going on, man? Nothing doing. Nobody's sticking my neck in a noose. My gang now. Saddle up and ride. Yeah. I'll meet you back at the hideout safe. Adios, Stonehorn. I'm riding off into the sunset.
This is Brooke, and I'm very competitive, so I just remember always doing this, and if my drawing wasn't perfect, I got really mad, so this wasn't as much fun as it was serious for me.
Me and the bump. Also, I am not artistic at all, so I just remember this was always just like see the best I could do, and everybody else's was always better than mine.
For you in the back, right?
Like I said, not artistic at all, but it's still fun, and I always enjoyed it no matter what the character was that got picked to be drawn.
From us to you. Pencils? Kinda need those for the next class. So take the paper, but do please leave the pencils. So once again, everybody, I want to say thanks.
What's that, Brooke?
This is Bailey, and I was in fact a Power Rangers stan. I loved the pink one, but my favorite was the yellow. And I remember at this time in my life, I would come home every day after school and watch Power Rangers on the TV, so this was like life-changing for me. This is Brooke, and I was a little too young to be near the Power Rangers hype, but I did like this meet and greet. This is Brooke, and I just remember with paper fast passes, you were able to stack them, so you could have, at the end of the day, like, a lot of fast passes, and you could ride back to back to back, so that was really cool.
I just remember that I always thought these people were weirdos, and I could never imagine doing this myself.